All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another recap video. Today, we traded SVFD. This one we were calling out early pre-market during the pre-market pump. For those of you guys that tuned in this morning, yes, we're doing live streams pre-market, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there. But for those of you guys who are there today, we were calling out SVFD. We're doing some live trading pre-market. And I did have a couple small size trades during pre-market. Let's see here. So first, a couple scalps here. Actually, 3-cent winner and a 5-cent winner here. We did catch the break of 4 selling. So it looks like we were green pre-market, and then near the highs, this is where we started to fumble the football. Taking a loss there, taking another loss there, and taking another loss there. And then another loss right here. So pretty much 5 back-to-back losses right there. The test of the highs. Breakthrough 460. This rejection here, this rejection there. And I think actually another time here, another 10-cent loss right here for the 4th test of the high, or the 3rd test of the high. Again, taking a 10-cent loss, having it to already then crawl back up. And then here, adding just a little bit too high and pulling back and taking another 17-cent loss. So that was just the theme of SVD today. Just very tough to read. You'll get a couple of spurts of movement, and then at those key areas where I was looking to get in, it would pull back a smidgen more, or just hesitate to break out for a second and pull back just beyond my risk level, my risk tolerance, and I would be stopping out for a loss. That was what happened on SVFD. And I did turn a lot of shares. So I was 21,000 shares traded in SVFD, which was pretty decent. I was trading this thing with the highest of 1,000 shares per trade at the open. And I did have a couple of nice winners. Did have a couple of nice winners. Traded a bunch of other stocks as well, but SVFD, main one, down $92 on that one. Overall, down $21 in the red. I'm happy that it is a small red day, because today could have been catastrophic. With the level of share size that I was trading today, 1,000 shares, if I would have got caught in something like this, which I did, on smaller share size, or get caught in something like this on 1,000 shares, I could be down 500, 1,000, 1,500, but I'm only down $20. So it was just sort of a successful red day. But today felt like it could have been a green day. It definitely felt like I could have capitalized on this momentum, because either way that the market, this stock was just hard to read. The market was a little bit tougher today. This market was tough to read. It still went from 4 to 750. Even though I wasn't able to capitalize on it, it's still, the fact is that this stock went to 4 to 755, and I was not able to get any profits on it. So I was doing something wrong on this stock, for sure. I was definitely doing something wrong. And that's just going to take me just going through my film and rewatching the day. A lot of it had to do with the spreads. There's been plenty of situations today where I actually should have been selling into a profit, but I was selling into the red, and I can go over that today as well. Other stocks we traded real quick. AAMC, I did get a decent trade through here on smaller size on the resumption. Quick pullback under 6, breakthrough 6 for a nice 40. That was actually like a 45 cent winner from 87 all the way up to 35 or so, or 30. I got my trade. So that's a 43-cent winner. That was a beautiful trade. That had to have been one of my most beautiful trades today. And there's a lot to take out of today. And that's something I want to remind you guys, is that, even though if you may have bad days, there's always things that you can take out and congratulate yourselves on doing. There's always going to be a few trades that you performed perfectly. You followed your rules. You didn't hesitate on the entry, and you didn't hesitate on the exit, and you just had a beautiful trade. And that's something to always be, happy about. also, even on the best of days, there's also things that you could work on. There's also things that you messed up on. And those are also things that you should be taking away as well. So, it's not about just completely berating yourself on red days and making yourself feel like shit. Even though a lot of us do feel like shit on red days. But, for the health of your mind, you have to remain stoic and positive, because the days, there's always going to be another opportunity. There's always going to be another day with new opportunity. And that's what we have to look forward to. We extrapolate the things to learn from today, and we bring it forward to tomorrow and try to be better. What else did we trade today? ALT. This one I didn't really trade, actually. Yeah, it's not really worth going over. Just kind of like a continuation play from the previous days. This is a larger float stock. And also easy to borrow as well. COIN, this one's a penny stock. Thought this one would make a decent move, but just very choppy overall today. I was trying to trade this pre-markets for continuation up in this area, but we did fail to continue. And we just never really got to break those highs pre-market, so I didn't really focus on that. MLGO, this one was a massive move for overnight. This thing went from $2 through $3 all the way up to $19.19. Early in the morning, 4 a.m. Eastern time, topping out at $19.19, triple topping, and then fading all the way back down to the grave at $2 a share. This, ladies and gentlemen, is called a backside move. This is why we do not hold and hope, because you could be buying at 13 thinking, oh, it's got to reverse, right? It's got to reverse. It's so far off the highs. It's got to reverse. Got to see a nice bounce. And before you know it, it's down at 10 and 9 and 7 and 5 and 4 and 3. 156. Before you know it, you'll be holding 1,000 shares down from 13 to 156, taking a $12,000 loss. So let's not hold and hope, because some stocks will just do this. Every once in a while we'll see something that just doesn't bounce. It's just a straight slide. It's just chutes and ladders without the ladders, and you're just sliding it right down from high to low. It's a shame that we didn't get any continuation up through 20, but it is what it is. What else here? What else did we trade today? Oh yeah, so MLGO, actually, I was green on this. The trade, we can review the trade in my film. We're going to pull up the film today and review these amazing trades today. I thought I had some amazing trades today, but I also had some really shitty trades. So pretty much one step forward, one step back all day long. What else did we trade? We traded SLDB. SLDB. This one, I think I traded through the highs in this area here. Didn't really get any resolution, so I didn't really size up. WIMI, this one here, I think I traded this one pre-market for, I think it was very small share size again, because I just was not very convinced. 100 shares for a quick pullback, looking for continuation, cutting it for break even, because that's not really worth going over. Let's take a look at the stats for today before we go over through the film. So we're looking at, after commissions, 33. I think that's wrong. I'm actually down to 27 after commissions. So I'll need to figure out what the problem is there. Probably something with my import. But my average position cost right near 1,000. Very nice. I like that. I kept my share size, relatively high. As I was, I was giving the day a chance. I wanted to be able to give the day a chance to go for the big green. Every single day. I wanted to give the day a chance to get big green, and I gave it the chance today, and I felt like it just wasn't right. I felt I could not get a read on SVFD, and so I started sizing down to 500 shares, then sizing down to 200 shares. And I think that was the right move, because I didn't really get behind anything on SVFD until, at all today. I just was not reading it correctly. And that's something that is going to require a lot of intuition and time in the markets to be able to understand whether or not there's a stock out there that you're just you know exactly what's going to happen next. Your intuition is on and you're reading it correctly. And there's also, you know, some stocks that you're just not going to have a good read on it, and you got to have that understanding, have that intuition, the insight to be able to identify that so you can manage your risk to the downside. So I think that's what I did very well today. So I just want to make a note of that. But, you know, we also are going to take a look at some errors as well today. But accuracy, a little bit lacking, about 50-50. You know, I like to be that up near 60%, 55 to 60%. Average win, average loss, pretty much even. Mostly because my losers get a little bit too big today. And my winners, I just never really had a big winner. My biggest winner is $95, but that was on, what was that, $5,000? I think it was a $5,000 position. So that was literally, was that like a 1% trade, 0.5% trade. So on 1,000 shares, my position was 4,193, and I made $95 on this trade. Only made, what was that, 0.5%? Is that correct? Did I make a 0.5% on that? No way. That can't be right. Let me get out my calculator. If I made $95 divided by 4,200, I made 2% on that trade. I don't know why it says my P&L percent was 0.57%. I'll also take a look into that as well. Probably because I had a bunch of entries and exits. But overall, in this whole sequence of trades, looks like I netted 0.5%. But so let's say, you know, even like a 2% winner, that's still very small. You know, that's still very small. If I had a 10% winner times it by 5, that's almost a $500 trade. And you know, it's not rare to get 10% winners. So really my lack today was just I didn't have any solid winners. And the losers, you know, I actually did keep it quite tight, actually. My largest loser was only $64 on 500 shares, max cost $200, but losing 3%. But yeah, 27 to 14. Yeah, so I mean, it was a decent loss, but I wouldn't say it was like a blowout loss, and especially if I only had 500 shares. So I think it was just a lack of any outsized winners, and as well as my accuracy was just a little bit weak today. But let's go through the film since it's not too long, because SVFD kind of blew its load and then just kind of chopped around and faded. So let's pull this out to the main screen here. If I can do this correctly. Can minimize that. All right, so right out of the gates, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm only down like $30. You know, it's not the red day yet. I'm not, you know, it's not over before it began. That's the last thing that I want. It's coming into the open being that max loss. You know, that's happened before, and we're just not going to let that happen because it's the worst position to be, you know. You want to give the day a chance to get big green. You don't want to strike out on the first trade or the first few trades of the day, because then you're done. You're accepting a red day early on when there could be great opportunity coming up. So only small red here, pre-market, coming in to the open. We're going to start out with our one share that we normally do just to test the fills, make sure the fills are nice and clean. Now we're jumping in 1K shares for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. And we get a nice trade there from 410 to 420 on 1,000 shares. We're up $100 on the open here. We get back in because it's holding VWAP, and then it flushes back down from 29 to 27. Get back in 27 to 28. So kind of one step forward, one step back, small trades there. Now we're just kind of waiting for that next setup. So when's the next setup? When is it? Kind of hanging. We're kind of holding this open price area, which we like. Where's the next entry? And I think we're going to go for the 1 minute candle to make a new high. 1,000 shares at 32. We hesitate and I sell back in at 34. I just wanted to shoot through this god dang candle, and we just don't get it. We just don't get it. We don't have that volatility. We don't have that momentum that I'm looking for here, and we don't quite break through. And so I take a couple of cent loss there. Actually, it was that 6-cent loss and a 3-cent loss on 1,000 shares. That's $100. So I pretty much gave back my profits already. Quick dip and a rip, or quick, not dip and a rip. It's just a dip and a little pop there off that, quick dip there off the open price. Boom. We have support there at the open price. We have support at the 9 EMA on the 1 minute. I'm getting in before it pops back, or at least semi-reclaims, forming a bottoming tail. And boom, right there. I'm in at 417 as soon as it hits that support level. I'm not waiting for the wick to show itself before I buy. I'm anticipating the wick to show itself. And there I'm in 417. Already showing 24 on the bid. So this is a very nice trade. Probably one of the better trades. I still somehow sell at 422. So it should have been 424, but it's 422. That's another reason why I really struggled today. So those fills, man. Those fills are crazy. So that was a quick 5-cent trade there. So $25 right there in my pocket. Still kind of holding this range, the opening range. This is a great opening range breakouts is my bread and butter. Here we go. 1 minute candle make a new low. Nope. And this is my big fat red trade on the day, minus $65 right here. This thing, I was like, all right, we're gonna break 440. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. I was looking to size into this baby. And boom, we reject. And before you know it, I'm down 13 cents, cutting the loss there. And I think we just pop right back up. Or no, we can actually go a little bit lower. So I would have been underwater like 20-something cents on that one. But yeah, that was a tough one. Kind of got faked out there. I'll give the market that one. Market 1, I'm 0 on today. Market definitely gave me a whipping. But we're only down $25. $25 on the day. Small red day. Small, tiny red, barely noticeable. Come back tomorrow, we'll be better. That's the plan. Come back tomorrow, we're going to be better. We're going to study up. We're going to review our film. We're going to review the film again and again and again and review it until we fall asleep and wake up, and we're going to be better. But yeah, we dip down here, and now I'm waiting for the next entry. Are we going to just flush down? We're going to get a quick dip buy, or are we going to reclaim and try to break 440? What's the thing here? What's the setup here? And we're creeping back up to 440. And not quite convinced yet. Still, we're breaking. Okay, now I want to put in a starter here. 200 shares. We're going to add there for the break of 440. We are adding 400 shares and resell for a small gain there. Yeah, I don't know how much, maybe like 15, 20 bucks there. Now we're kind of just still struggling. We're not really getting that momentum. Very hesitant at the highs. Now we're starting to open up a bit. And what do I do here? Take a trade there on a quick micro pullback. In at 58, out at 61. 3 cents a share. And I was on 200 shares, so it's quite small. I think I jumped it down to 200 shares. Just because I just felt like I didn't have a read on it. Just did not have a read on it. 64 to 67. Not bad there. So very small scalps there. Is 59 to 65. So very small scalps, but I just kept doing one step forward, one step back. Here's a good dip buy. Quick dip, 58 or 59 out at 65. 200 shares. And then look at this. Now we're creeping up to the highs. Now watch this. I'm going to take a starter here. I'm going to take a buy for the break of $5. $5, and he broke out. It's a winning trade, right? It's a winning trade. We break $5, and we're still selling for a loss. It's hard to comprehend that, but we're breaking $5. Perfect breakout trade. I'm in at $4.99. We break out to $5.10, and I'm selling at $4.92. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So I'm just like, it's another reason why I cannot be sizing up, because what the heck was that? And this one was actually probably one of my better trades on the day. This had to have been, even though it was a really short-lived, I nailed it. When the timer's right, I nailed it. Boom, dip and a rip. 200 shares at 67 and selling there at 80s. Boom. Nice solid trade there. Nice solid trade. And then we just flush right back down. That was pretty much it for MLGO. MLGO. We're all up into a halt here at SVFD. And we just continue higher. I do have a nice, beautiful trade in here though. Quick micro pullback at 70 up to 87. 17 cents a share on 200 shares. You know, that was a decent trade there. In at 98, out at 90. So giving some of that back. I'm still waiting for a specific entry that I want here. A nice pullback. I want that first 1 minute pullback. That's what I'm waiting for. And we're ripping up even more, all the way up to 710. And now I'm trying to catch into this dip. And we're dipping. I want to see a bigger dip. It just ran from $4.50 up to $7.10. I want to dip down to 6. I need to dip down below 6, high 5s. 640 out at 640. In at 627. Out at 626. Another break-even trade there. Still waiting for a bigger dip. Hesitating at the lows there. It could be the bottom. In at 23, out at 18. So a 5-cent loss there. In at 15, out at 6. Another 15-cent loss there. And then there we go. We finally get the dip after all of those failed attempts there. At $5.99, 603, out at 610 and 606. So pretty much just, there you have it. Just a 1 step backward, 1 step forward every single time. Here I'm in 500 shares now at 6 flat. Selling at $5.94. And just kind of mistiming that dip a little bit. Also, you know, the spreads are working against me here. The spreads were definitely working against me, and I was getting filled. I want to see exactly where I got filled on this. Okay, so yeah, I did hit the buy button at $6. The spread was literally 15 cents from $5.93 to $6.08. It's tough. That is tough. That's tough trading when the spreads are like that. And you know, that was definitely the demise of today. It was just that spread. That was just too many small losses on that spread. Kind of just ate away my profits today. And I did. I was up. You know, it gains up. The total winnings are 600 something, and kind of just ate into that. Today. Now we got this nice dip. This is a much better trade there. So I had 72. Oh, actually, that was a bad trade because I was holding it too long. So they were at 98, 92. So, you know, just kind of back and forth all day. Small green, small red, small green, small red, small green. You know, just back and forth. Let me get this nice pop here. get this nice pop. I don't quite capitalize on that, but I'm trying to buy that micro pullback. Ready, ready, ready. Micro pullback. And I know a lot of traders fell for this one too. Bite that micro pullback, and there's a 30 cent. 30 cents. Done. Gone. that put me like back into the red. I was like, fuck. Jesus. Here we go again. 81 out at 82. 80 and at 88 out at 89. So just struggling here. And this one was tough as well. We had this another breakout here of 7. And this one was tough. In at 65, out at 63. So just late on that breakout. You know, I was just a tad late. I got filled at the high, and I wanted to get filled underneath that level there, but I got filled at 65. I was just a second too late. In at 66. I'm up 30 cents here. I'm up 30 cents right there. Should have took it off the table. I got greedy. And I added that 680, pulls back, and now I'm in the hole here, 10 cents. Now we're in the hole. Now I'm like, oh crap. Now I gotta cover. Now I gotta lose. Now I gotta take my loss here. And now it pops back up. Pretty much doing the opposite of what I should be doing there. Definitely. And we're just trying to time this breakout here. Being extra patient. And we're in at 77. 77, super tiny size. I don't know what that was. There's no even point of taking that with 50 shares. I'm like, all right, momentum's hot. You know, this can totally continue to the high. I'm like, this can totally continue to the high. I just need a great entry here. I need a great risk, low risk entry. I need that low risk entry, which is not coming. And boom, we go through the high and we just flush straight down. Surprise didn't halt. I just jumped in at 16, out at 18, so quick 2 cents. Could have held that for more. That's a quick. I know that roasted a lot of traders right there. This move here just roasted traders for sure. And then from there, you know, I did a couple dips. But again, now we're resuming our 1 step forward, or 1 step back, 1 step forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward. Here is probably one of my better trades. I can review this one as well. So we're dipping down, we're coming into some support right here. Previous low. So I'm getting in 85. And we're just planning on holding this for a little bit. Planning on holding this. I think I even add a lower. Or no, I take some off for break even. And then it dips down a little bit lower. I add back. I add those shares back at 83. It's kind of recycling my shares there just to get a better cost basis. And now we're taking off in the 90s. Taking half off in the 90s. This was a very good, even though it's on small share size, this was a very good setup here. Very great setup. And it resolved perfectly. Now we're up at 97 by 60, or $6. 98, 603. Taking some off at 601. Taking half off at 601. Taking the rest off. Even though it's small, still I followed the system. Out at 605. Taking the rest off, I think for like about a decent gain there. A decent cents per share gain. That's what we should say. Cents per share. My best sell was 20-something cent, 23 cents or so. So decent setup there. This is probably one of the better setups that I traded. Almost to a T. So very, that's something that I can definitely extrapolate and, be happy that I took that entry and followed my rules. And then from there, SVFD kind of just a roller coaster from there. Just an absolute roller coaster. I did continue to trade it, trying to catch dips, you know, maybe seeing a curl up through the high of day, but we just never got it. And just kind of hanging around break even then. And that was sort of the day. We can take a look actually real quick on the that one trade that I took on AMCC. Let me pull that up. Oh, here we are. Okay, here's AMCC. We're in a halt up. We're looking for breakthrough to highs. Volume's still kind of light. We resume. I get in at 87. Got a beautiful fill there. Actually, sold there for break even. Getting back in. Oh, very small share size, but still 86 up to 60. Quick micro pullback underneath the whole dollar. Looking for that explosion through the whole dollar. Catching a nice 46 cents a share. Very nice. Very nice. So as you can see, a lot of decent trades, a lot of base hit, solid trades, but also a lot of mistakes. But very happy that I was able to keep it small. Keep it tight, because there's going to be better days ahead, and we want to be able to survive the tough weather so we can be there when the times are good. And when the times are good, we can be adding profits instead of making back losses, which is important. So keeping it tight, you know, still trying to give every single day a chance to be big green. You know, don't not go for the setup. Don't be in a state of fear and be in a state of shock if something starts to go parabolic or something's giving great moves. And if you hesitate, don't hesitate on those solid opportunities. That's what I was doing the other day, and that's what I was very disappointed about, which was yesterday. You know, great action, but I just hesitated, and I want to definitely, you know, iron that out so I can trust my system, get confident that I will end up on the right side of the move and be profitable in the end. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you guys tomorrow on the pre-market pump, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.